Hello, everybody. I am delighted to be joined today by Cindy Santos-Mendoza. She is the president of West Compass Insurance Solutions in Murrieta, California. And for over 20 years, Cindy's worked in marketing, communications, operations, with a focus in nonprofits and foundations dedicated to supporting individuals and communities. And now she takes all of that combined experience and as a fully licensed life and health insurance agent. And what's great is that she prides herself on educating her clients so that they can make informed decisions on what's best for their unique needs. And her passion is in helping people protect their health and financial well-being. So welcome, Cindy. Delighted to have you today.
Thank you, Julie. Likewise, very excited to be here and additional information to those listening, any other entrepreneurs out there and the community at large.
Great. Awesome. And so, you have such a wonderful background where you can take all of these different roles and now combine them in your own business. So I would be curious, and if you wouldn't mind sharing with the audience, with your previous experience in these various roles and working with nonprofits, how do you think that's impacted the success of your business?
Oh, that is such an interesting question, because I do believe that every stage in your personal and your professional life takes you exactly where you need to be at a certain time.
Yeah.
And it is combined experience in working with, non-for-profit organizations, having worked in corporate America as well, having experienced what it is, the great disconnect between executives and the community at large, right? Every executive has an idea of what their brand means to the community. And sometimes there's a large disconnect into how the community relate, to that brand. When I was working in the non-for-profit sector, I had the great advantage of working in corporate America and managing a non-for-profit organization at that time. And it allowed me, through, of course, our team, how amazing it would be if non-for-profits actually had the mentality of working as a for-profit company with the same, goals, with the same guidelines, with the same principles, in making, those organizations a lot more profitable. The other thing that I saw was that non-for-profit organizations actually compete against each other instead of collaborating with each other. And so to me, collaboration is huge into, any aspect of industries. And I've worked in the, in the education industry. I've worked in the real estate industry, now in the health and life industry. And you always have to remember that you can never go at it alone. Collaboration is key any success. So I think the principles that I have learned through 20 plus years, I'll leave it at that.
So when you were, you started when you were a baby. Yep. I get it.
When I was still crawling.
Yes, same.
Yes,
Yep.
Exactly.
We're geniuses that way.
There you go.
Baby geniuses.
So I think that it allows you to see, different disconnects, different things that you can change in the industries, but understand that as long as you have this collaboration, aligning yourself with key individuals throughout, your career and your personal life as well, you definitely can grow to be incredibly successful. And I do think that success comes from the passion within. If you are passionate about what you do, no matter what that is, right? No matter if it's, in cleaning your home and you're just passionate about it and you want to, you really just put the effort into that, or, being, a stay-at-home mom, or, working, volunteering at an organization, or building your own business, or working for somebody else, just as long as you put that great deal of passion in what you do, that's going to reflect.
Yeah. So your collaboration and passion. And there's something that I talk about sometimes in relation to, business owners or anyone. they don't teach you in college, or they don't teach you in business school, or they don't necessarily teach you that it is your network. It is the collaborations, it's your network that is going to help you build your business or get that next job, or wherever you're at. But for our purposes here and talking about entrepreneurship, it is your network, and how can you work with others who have similar interests, similar passions, similar audiences to work together. I really appreciate that you said that. It's so true.
I would say, Julie, one of the things that I have learned is actually don't align yourself just with people in your same industry. Go outside of the industry and, network with individuals that maybe have strength in areas that perhaps you have weaknesses in, right? Because those are the individuals that are going to help you get into the next stage. I've stated, I've stated for quite some time that when you launch as an entrepreneur, you launch with the mindset or with the passion or with the fire to provide either a service, a product to the market. But that doesn't necessarily make you an expert in every field of entrepreneurship, right? So you either have a sales background, and that's great, or you're crafty and you just have passion for that, but you have no idea about finances or marketing, or you're great at building relationships, but have no idea how to sell a product, right? So it's in the identifying what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, and then go and network, not only right in the areas that are your strength or your industry, but even on those where you have weaknesses, because you learned a lot by surrounding yourself with individuals that are much smarter than you, in different areas. And I think a while back, one of my mentors said, always aim to be the dumbest person on the table. And at first you're like, well, hold on one second, right? We all have our pride. It's like, I think I'm pretty smart. I was like, exactly. So you always want to be the dumbest person on the table, meaning listen, right? Surround your people by smart individuals and just listen and take notes.
Take it in. Yes. That's where the learning comes in, where those aha moments come in. Yes.
Absolutely.
And so, you talked about, wearing different hats, right? You come in, and most entrepreneurs, they start a business based on, something that they're passionate about, or they know they're really good at, or they're good in the technical aspect of the work, right? But then you realize, I also have to run a business, and I also need sales. I also need to get leads in the door. And then, like you said, the finances, and now I have to hire, now I have to know HR, right? So what would you say, Cindy, has been one of your biggest challenges in your journey so far?
I thought, I've been thinking about this for quite some time, because I had, I think, the privilege of working on a large organization, but building, a new division. And the way that my leader at that time took it was exactly in a very entrepreneurial way. One of the biggest challenges as entrepreneurs, I think, is learning when is the right time to get help, right? So you mentioned it. We start and it's, oh my gosh, I got to do the selling and I have to do the accounting, and I may or may not know how to do that. And, I may have to do the sales, and I may have to figure out how to do the marketing. And you're just trying to get enough sales to get started. And the question is always, when is the right time to hire somebody to help you? And where do you start, right? Do you first get an admin? Do you first get someone to help you with accounting? Do you first get someone to help you with marketing, right? Is trying to figure that out. So I think that has been, as an entrepreneur, that has been the biggest challenge, is in just sometimes waiting too long to hire. Is you want to feel like you're secure before, oh my gosh, I'm gonna bring someone in, but what if sales decline, right? What if we go through a bad time
Mm.
I may not be able to afford, paying that salary. So I would say that is just, learning the right timing.
Yeah, the when to hire and the how to hire the right person, and also make sure that you have the cash flow coming in to support,
Yes,
because it's not just you anymore. So, so do you have any team members on your team right now?
I do. I actually learned this concept a while back. I'm an avid learner.
Mhm.
So I belong to I belong to an organization that is part of a specific mentor or coach, and he provides, different type of business, courses.
Mhm.
And one of the courses that I learned early on had said, always remember the 3 Ds: delegate,
Mhm.
double down, or delete,
Mm.
right?
Mhm.
And it was that first one. All right, well, I gotta delegate, right? So what do I do? The one thing that I learned was that delegating didn't necessarily mean hiring, right? Delegating could have been, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to contract an accountant,
Yeah.
right? That is going to a bookkeeper. And so I started there. I'm like, hey, listen, the finances are taking a little too long. I need to figure out where is, my time best spent.
Mhm.
I moved that and hire a bookkeeper, hire then an accountant. We then hire an HR team, and then we hired our first admin
Mhm.
part time.
Mhm.
And I think that that's always the safe bet. Like if you're starting, hey, hire someone part time. There's a lot of individuals. I have a soft spot for moms
Mhm.
because when I was at corporate America and I became pregnant the first time, it was a challenge, and
Mm.
I knew that I had to. And this is awful, but I had to hide my pregnancy
Oh,
for the first couple of
yeah.
months because the organization was going through restructure, and I didn't want my position to be based on the fact that I was pregnant and that I was going to have to take maternity leave. So it was just a confusing and an
A hard
awful
place to be.
place to be. And I realized that a lot of women go through that.
Mm.
Most of the female executives that work with me had a partner who took the role of staying at home, and that is the only way that it worked for them as
Yeah.
females to climb the corporate ladder.
Mm.
So that was the first challenge. And then when I was ready to come back, um, they almost made it impossible for me to come back.
That's
And
wild.
so, and I just felt like, I had a situation with my newborn, and she had a medical condition. I wasn't able to leave her at home. I
Mm.
had to watch her 24/7 until she grew out of this medical condition. I had been working, my entire team was remote. I was overseeing a team of 12 individuals across the country. So honestly, I could do that job from the office, or I could do it remotely from my home office.
Mm.
And the new VP was adamant that I had to be in the office and do a 65-mile commute each way.
Yeah.
And so it was just impossible. And so I realized that in this space, when as a mom, you have to, or as a female, you have to make some tough decisions on, do I want to continue on with my career, or do I want to take, some time to grow a family? Um, at least for me, I struggle with, I wanted both. I wanted to continue to grow professionally, and I wanted to
And
be a
why can't you
mom.
have both? I mean,
Exactly.
you can have it all, right? And
Yes,
yes. Mhm.
you
So,
do. And so the lesson learned was this: there's a lot of moms out there that would love a part time job. because it allows them that time to be with their kids, to pick them up from school, drop them to activities, and still feel like, they're being a part of something, bigger, that they're, taking their skills, and putting them to use. So there's a huge niche in there. Don't overestimate or underestimate, I should say, the stay-at-home mom and the power of
they're running
time.
a business, right? It's like
Yeah.
in the home
And running a business, Julie,
yeah.
yes, but running a business is not for everyone. And I remember this because I was looking at the stats, and female-owned businesses are the fastest growing small businesses in America. And you wonder why.
Yeah.
I just stated corporate America is not making it any easier. However, I think that this is, and this is based on no data other than my own observation. This is why Etsy, places like Etsy become so profitable, is because you may only want to have this one thing that you want to put on the market, but don't necessarily want to become a full entrepreneur. Maybe you're doing this on the side just to get, some extra cash. So entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but I think that there's just a great opportunity in stay-at-home moms wanting to, get some extra cash and doing something.
Sure.
So
yeah, no, that's great.
Great opportunity for growth.
And though, I guess the follow-up is, what would be your biggest learning so far as an employer now with your own business in relation to management and leadership and running a team?
Oh my gosh. It is to be organized. You have to have the right systems in place. You have to have, I have what I call my bookends, right? How I start my morning and how I end my day are not going to change, right? So a while back, my mentor had said, hey, you can only control what happens before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m. because we know that the moment that the business day starts, I mean, God knows, right? Yeah. It may be an emergency. It may be, I don't know, a kid that called, sick from school. So you have no control in what happened before 8 a.m. or after 8 p.m. So you can plan a lot, but expect the unexpected. Yeah. But it's in that time it's in how you organize your time on those bookends, right? What are your morning routines? What are the things that you know that you want to get in? And that no matter how your day goes, no matter how crazy your day is, you know that you're just going to get those few things done. So I say bookends are a big part of, of my learning experience. And then a concept that I love that are called jam sessions. And so these are 90 minutes that I blocked on my calendar to work on the business, right? So is what are those 3 goals? We all know about, hey, set up goals and, look at your goals, set up time to work on your goals. But what happened? Exactly what I just said. You get to the office, you sit down, emergency emails, exactly. But if you block those times in your calendar, right? Even if it's just one jam session, 90 minutes, and you protect it, you know that no matter how your day goes, you at least got that done. And that's how you start, to get ahead. So I think that has been like one of my biggest learning experience. And as I said, I think just having the humility to ask, right? To ask, if you don't already belong to a mastermind group, find yourself one. My gosh, I can positively say that my mastermind group has accelerated and propelled my business growth, my professional growth, my personal growth 10 times fold.
You can be accountable to yourself, but you'll let yourself down more than you'll let someone else down. So having a coach or a mentor or a mastermind is so huge, where you don't want to let someone else down, right? So you'll make sure and stay on track. And once you make those goals and you hit those milestones, it's also rewarding, right? It gives you that dopamine, right? Where you're like, doing
Yeah.
this, and the motivation to keep going.
Oh, Julie, and you just brought something up. Celebrate those wins, right?
Celebrate.
As
Yes.
entrepreneurs, what do we do?
We're
Yes,
like,
celebrate
check,
the wins, because
next thing,
as
check, next
entrepreneurs, we're
thing.
like, all right, I got, let's say, like, I got to get to, 10 sales a day. And you just get to it. 10, awesome. So now I'm going to increase my goal to, 12 sales a day. But it's like, no, stop, celebrate, recognize how far you've gone, recognize that accomplishment, then set up your next goal. But don't forget that small part of the celebration, because otherwise it becomes exhausting, right?
Yeah. And it could be something small, just I have a client who her celebration was going to be to take a nap. Just like, I never get to nap anymore. So her reward for this one goal was to set up a time to take a nap. And I was like, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
But just something that whatever matters to you, or however you want to celebrate, small or large. Yeah, I appreciate that you say that, because, entrepreneurs are innately high achievers, and it's just check the box and move on, check the box and move on. So,
and I think equally important is to celebrate your team, right? Nobody gets to success alone. And so, always remember to celebrate your team, acknowledge your team. We all know that as humans, we all want to be seen, we want to be heard, and want to be understood. But it's recognizing, your team, the accomplishments. Hey, a pen back is, if you think that you are recognizing your team enough, I can tell you that if you ask them, it's not enough. So just remember, if you just small little things, right? Small little things. Hey, the way that you handled that client today was phenomenal. Thank you so much. Small, notice the small things that your team is doing, and spend time with your team. I think that that's equally important. So one of our, for our team goal last year was to get to a specific number of clients. And man, we barely made it. We did. And it was that excitement, of the celebration. I knew that we had all worked very hard, and our celebration was a spa day, right? And it's let's all, we've worked so hard, right? Let's go and treat ourselves and pamper ourselves. And I can tell you that that goes a long, long way, much more than just the monetary reward.
Yeah. Great. Good tip. Well, Cindy, I'm so grateful for all of these tips and this wonderful conversation. So the last thing I want to ask is, do you have any special offers or programs that you want to share? And then how can people get in touch with you?
Well, we, during, actually, I should say, in insurance, there's only specific enrollment periods. So we don't really have any offers that we can have. However, as you stated, one of our biggest guiding principles, one of our core values is knowledge, and it's providing knowledge to the community at large. So we're big on educational seminars. We provide educational seminars once a month. They're on our website. If you go under upcoming events, we also have community events as well. We partner with several of the big insurance carriers. We present on behalf of many of them. So we may have, community events where you may want to come learn a little bit more about insurance options that you have. A big part of our business is in Medicare, which, my gosh, if insurance as a whole is complicated for, the regular Joe, you can imagine Medicare has so many moving parts. It's such a scary process for individuals that are, already going through a life-changing time, right? They're getting ready to retire, trying to figure out, should I retire? Should I apply for this? So that education, those education seminars are a big part of our give back to the community. There is no selling whatsoever. We're not there to sell. We really are just there to inform. So it's also a less, intimidating setting. And we provide those virtual and in person as well. So for individuals that, might want to just log in after work and learned a few things, they can always go to our website.
Great. And then share your website so people know where to go.
So our company name is West Compass Insurance, and that's exactly our website, is just westcompassinsurance.com.
All right, great. Well, Cindy, thank you again for your time and wisdom today. Lots of really good nuggets in here. And I hope those of you, or I actually imagine that most of you who were listening picked up something that you can start implementing and thinking about for your business. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Julie.